everyone. I'm Jerry Goldman. I am our acting chairman for this evening, and I've been well tutored by Charlene and Susan and Stacy, so I'm sure it's going to run very smoothly. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, everyone. We'll start with our attendance this evening by our secretary, Robert DeGennaro. How are we doing with our attendance, Robert?
Okay, we should be up to 20, I believe, but let's take it. Louis Barra. Tom Ballard is out, right?
Yes.
Phyllis Catania.
Present.
Mike Ciccarelli.
Present.
Keisha Conway.
Good.
Here.
Okay, I'm
Can't hear
here.
me.
Patrick
I'm
Donahue.
not supposed to hear you. Oh.
Sharif
I'm
Farag.
not supposed
Here.
to hear you.
Sharif is here?
I'm right here.
Okay, we got you.
We got you. Okay, John Felicetti. He's here.
He's here.
Jeff Geary's here, I heard him. Jerry's here. Celia.
She's out.
Al Klingel.
Yeah.
Harold Kozak.
Yeah.
Here. Robert Kump.
No.
Verna Loria.
Here.
Angel Leshy.
He's absent.
Diane Mattioli.
Here.
Dennis McCain is here. Frank is out tonight. Nicole Nigro.
She's here.
Yeah, she's here, okay. Diane Perugia.
Out.
Mike Pinto.
Here.
James Pastilli.
Here.
Andrew Poznansky. Owen Ryder, he's here.
Here.
Anthony Riccadelli.
Here.
Wayne Rosenfeld.
Here.
And Danny Venuto.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Robert. I know we have a representative of the Richmond Town Civic Association. Are there any other civic associations present this evening? Hearing none. Any media representatives this evening? Print, TV, radio?
Yeah.
Okay. Any representative city agencies or organizations?
Yes, Sam Clark, Borough Director for Queens and Staten Island from DSS.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
And Frank Fontana from Buildings.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Strasberg from Councilman Borelli's office.
See, I didn't get
I'm
that.
Jennifer
You see,
Miller, New York City
Michael, you're
Parks.
much too fast for me. The next thing I was going to say, any representatives of elected officials.
My apologies, jumped the gun.
Michael, take it away.
Ed Jackson
Michael
from CAU.
Strasberg from Councilman Borelli's office.
Thank you.
Michael
Well,
from Councilman David Carr's office.
Lily from Congresswoman Nicole Maliotakis' office. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Lily. Good to see you. Thanks for attending.
James Clinton, District Attorney Mike McMahon's office.
Welcome. Welcome.
Donald
Good to see you
DeRosa from
again.
City Comptroller Brad Lander's office.
Nice to see you. Thank you for attending. Any other representatives? Okay, thank you. We now enter our community contact session. Feel free to raise your hand if you have something to contribute to the meeting.
We do
this
have
evening.
a speaker, Steve Zadarico. I believe he's from Community Board 2, would like to speak.
Hello,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Steve, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I see I'm unmuted now. Yeah, when you have the public session, I can speak. I'm the chairman of the Parks and Environmental Committee on Community Board 2, and I've been on the board for about 15 years. I'm going to talk about Gateway Park.
Well, this is your chance.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
No, we do everything before the meeting, and you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, so 2 issues. At the end of Mansion Avenue, if you're familiar with Great Hills Harbor, 3 houses have been conducted, and from what I've been told, it was approved by Community Board 3. I would just like you guys, there's the horse is out of the barn, and it is a done deal. The people are building there. But I've spent my entire life on Staten Island. I've been in the park since I'm a baby. I lived in Oakwood and Great Kills. And literally, I was a lifeguard there. I've had boats my whole life. And these 3 buildings are just huge monstrosities. And the beauty of the back of the harbor has been severely compromised. And I just, when you're on the board and you make decisions, that's your decision. But for years, that was unbuildable property. Because I'm also a member of the Great Hills Yacht Club, and they were trying to put a Verizon tower there. But they were always told by the DEC and the Department of Buildings that it was unbuildable. Well, this marsh is, I could send pictures to the board if you want to see them. But it's literally built on the waterfront. And
Michael, can I update you on that building or those buildings?
okay.
Those buildings originally had an application that we denied because there were multiple buildings. The application that they're building now is an as-of-right development. Community Board 3 did not approve them. It never came before us. They're being built as of right. So the information you got about us approving them is erroneous.
It never happened.
The thing is, DEC gave them permission. So they have what they need from DEC in order to build those houses. So we are totally out of it. As of right, as you know, if you've been on the board for 15 years, you know that unless it needs some kind of a special permit from city planning or board of standards, the community boards are not involved in it.
Okay, there's has nothing to do with you guys, and I apologize for just inferring even that you guys put in a building in a spot that to me is a national treasure.
So you can check the buildings department website. It's available to everyone, and they will tell you whether there are any applications with city planning or with board of standards, so you'll know.
I always thought that it was marsh and you couldn't build on marsh, and they put the piles in and they built the houses. The second issue I just want, what I was talking to you about earlier today, when I had National Park Service come to us and give us an update on the remediation, I asked them, are they ever planning after that to put back the recreational section? And they said as of 2013, they decided that there will never be any active recreation in that park. And
right, we also had the same presentation you had. Okay, so we are updated on that. That is a federal park, as you know. So I would suggest you contact Congresswoman Malliotakis to see whether she has any other updates on it. Because
that is their decision as of 2000. It's always going to be passed.
I would let her office know. Lily from her office is on this call. So Lily, please make note of it and get back to
Right, she
CB2.
attends all the meetings. I would just like to say that I would hope that everybody would agree that there was like 4 Little League fields, there was a soccer field, there was a football field, a track, and a couple of Babe Ruth fields there too. That just a real asset to the community, and it is actually part of 3, not 2. So I would hope everybody feels the same.
Because the park is used by everyone. It doesn't matter where it is. The park is used by everyone.
I understand that it's federal, yes. It's just that when the community is involved and they feel a certain way, then maybe the National Park Service would listen somewhat. So that's all I wanted to talk about, and you guys have a wonderful meeting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else here who would like to address the board? That's your opportunity.
There's no one else, Jerry.
No one else?
Nope.
Okay. Let's move on.
I'd like to say a few words. I'm Sam Clark. I'm the new board director for Staten Island and Queens from DSS, and also represented DHS for tonight's meeting. Okay?
Sure, please go ahead. Thank you.
So I look forward to meeting you all and getting to know the community board and whatever helps so we can work together. Thank you. That's me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your attendance and that information.
Thanks.
Anyone else would like to speak during the community contact session?
Hi, this is Frank Fontana from Buildings.
Please.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. I don't know if I'm sorry. I don't know if my video is working. Here we go. Just a couple quick announcements. One is a couple weeks ago, the Commissioner LaRocca, she's now moved to the efficiency office as the information technology czar, so she'll be working there. And Gus Sarakis, who was our first deputy commissioner, is now acting commissioner. So I guess we'll wait for more updates. whatever the I guess the mayor decides. If they choose somebody else, we don't know yet. So he's currently acting commissioner. We have next week we have construction safety week. So buildings will be at a site at 475 Bay Street, along with OSHA to talk to workers about construction safety, to bring awareness to safety. Deaths have been down last year, so the buildings has been trying really hard to keep those, make sure that those deaths are down because we've had issues in the past where there's been a lot of deaths at construction sites. So we've worked on a lot of policies and procedures and tightened the safety requirements. So that has brought the numbers down over the years. Then next week also is Small Business Week as well. So Small Business Services is holding an event at Borough Hall from 1:30 to 4 p.m. So it's a SBS sponsored event, but buildings will be attending. So any business owners want to come down to Borough Hall, please do. We'll be there with a table and information and information to give out to people. And then just what I wanted to mention what Michael's talking about about BSA. So on the building's website, a couple weeks ago, buildings issued a service notice. So now on the building's website, you're able to see if any property has undergone a BSA approval. So if it's dating back to all the way to 1998. So now with that change, if you look on the building's website, it'll indicate yes or no in one of the columns whether there's ever been a BSA approval on a property. So I don't know the addresses of those particular properties, but if you want to send it to me, I can take a look and see. But other than that, you can check the building's website for that indication.
I already checked. Thank you, Frank.
But it's a new thing, so now anybody can see dating back to 98 if there's ever been a BSA, because we do get questions a lot, and it's not indicating on the profile, so they now have made that change.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that information. Do we have anyone else who would like to participate in the community contact session?
Hey, Jerry, James Clinton, DA, McMahon's office.
Thank you.
Just wanted to mention this week is National Crime Victims' Rights Week here at the DA's office. Each day we recognize the victims of crime and sort of give voice to their families. Earlier today, the DA stood with Mothers Against Drunk Driving to remember those we lost to drunk and drug driving. He also announced a partnership with Uber, where on Cinco de Mayo from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., Staten Island residents will receive a $10 discount if they use the promo code SI5SAFE. You'll see this initiative shared on our social media later this week. So if you want more information, keep an eye out for that. Also this Thursday at 1 p.m., we're holding a Denim Day rally on the steps of Borough Hall, where we'll be commemorating or remembering the victims of sexual assault. And then later that day at 6:30 p.m., we're holding a Crime Victims' Rights Candlelight Vigil at St. John's University. All are welcome to attend. If you'd like more information, just let me know. And then lastly, I'd like to highlight that the DA has been personally working with the Port Authority to bring license plate readers to the Goethals Bridge, and it looks like we're nearly there. We're hoping that these license plate readers will be an asset to NYPD and our prosecutors as we try to catch those who are committing these grand larceny autos that we see so often in the South Shore. Most of these criminals are coming from Newark, New Jersey. So we get these license plate readers coming to the Goethals, hopefully all of our bridges, and we can begin to see a decline there. And then lastly, I just want to wish a happy birthday to Community Board Member 3, Member Andrew Poznansky. Happy birthday, Andrew.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
James, thanks for that report, because I got that information at the 123 precinct meeting regarding National Crime Victims Week, and I was going to report on it, but you did a much better job than I would have, so thank you very much. And we certainly hope you do get attendance at that. It's very important, both the afternoon and the evening event. So again, thank you, James. Anyone else who'd like to speak during our community contact session?
Michael from Councilman David Carr's office.
Please.
So the councilman's office, we are working on our Clean Team initiative. So anyone on the Mid-Island, if there's any intersections or locations that you notice have a lot of trash on the street, let us know and we'll go over there to clean it up. Thank you.
That's great news. Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to participate in the community contact session?
Jerry, Just real quick, I thought, because I heard Port Authority before, and it just made me think that we actually do have a little good news in terms of progressing with our effort to expand or replace the outer bridge. It looks like the Port Authority is moving forward with that, and they're looking for properties that they may need to make this expansion or replacement happen. So we'll keep you posted about that.
Lily, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Sure, if I can answer it.
Does the Congresswoman have any information on what's happening with the Veterans Hospital in Brooklyn, and where I rallied with her and many other elected officials? Any news on what the government's going to do?
She had a meeting at the Elks yesterday with the Vietnam vets to talk about that. I think we're still moving forward with just finding a way to stop them from ever having a commission that could shut down them from doing this. But I'll keep you posted about that, Jerry.
Thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, someone in Washington had the brilliant idea to close the Veterans Hospital in Brooklyn, close the Veterans Hospital in Manhattan on 23rd Street, and have the Staten Islanders have to go to New Jersey for veterans medical care. But the Congresswoman has been in the forefront of fighting this, and I always ask if anything's new. So thank you very much. Any other information that someone like to bring forward to us in the community contact session? Okay, hearing silence, can we move on?
Go ahead.
Charlie, you're the boss. Can we move on?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay. We have the minutes before us from the March 22nd General Board meeting. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes, which you have before you?
You have Dennis and
I'll make
Phyllis.
a motion.
Get a second?
Yeah, Robert.
Okay. All in favor of accepting the minutes from our last General Board meeting? Please raise your hand or say aye or so designate.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Seeing none, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, now we go to the officer reports. Well, we're down to the second vice chair. I just have two brief things. I attended the April 6th Borough Board meeting at the Borough President's office, and they had a guest speaker. It was Dan Garodnick. He is the new chair and director of the Department of City Planning. He was just appointed by Mayor Adams after many years of public service in New York City. His major theme that he presented for the Department of City Planning: they want to be partners with all community boards, and they aim at being open and clear in their actions. Their Staten Island office, according to Dan, will be contacting community boards 1, 2, and 3 to address future city planning on Staten Island and any ideas that people may have here. So that was that presentation. Owen, are you going to report on the 123 precinct meeting?
No, I'm not, Jerry.
Okay. The only thing I want to say, two things. It's the safest precinct in New York City. However, the chances are if you leave your key fob in the car, it will be stolen. It is a contagious disease happening out here. It's a guarantee. If you have your key or your fob in your door, in your car, and it's not closed, it's going to be stolen. And that's emphasized at every board meeting, every 123 precinct meeting. And I think people have to pay attention to it, because once the criminals, according to Commanding Officer Smirnov, once they get comfortable coming into a community, maybe they're going to start thinking, well, people are unlocking the doors to their houses and walking in and doing that. So a word to the wise, and that's something they emphasize every week, and I just wanted to mention that. Thank you very much. Owen, do you have any report?
Not as the third vice chair. I'll do a, police and
committee.
public safety report. when we
Okay,
get to
excellent.
that.
Thank you so much. Treasurer's report, Diane.
Diane's absent.
Well, that's not going to be helpful. Secretary, Robert DeGennaro, do you have a report for us?
No report, thank you.
Okay. District Manager's report. Charlene, do you have a report for us?
Not at this time. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Committee reports. Budget.
No report.
Venuto.
No report.
Thank you. Community Alliance. That's me. Okay.
Jerry, why don't you hold yours, go through the others first?
Whatever you want. You tell me when to go. Okay,
Yeah.
next. Ethics, rules, bylaws, and regulations. Andrew Poznanski.
No report, but we will be holding election at the federal court meeting.
I don't hear him. Does anyone else?
Okay, what he said was there was no report. However, a reminder that elections for offices of Community Board 3 will be held in June.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very important.
Diane's out.
Okay, Diane's not here. Land use, planning and zoning. Thomas is not here. Does anyone have a report from that
The
committee?
reports were in the package. It's self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory. Thank you. Parks and environmental. Albert Klingel.
The report in the package was self-explanatory.
Thank you very much, Al. Traffic and transportation. Danny Venuto.
Self-explanatory.
Thank you. NYPD precinct council meetings. Owen.
So I just have very brief, I was at a lacrosse game. It was at Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn, but it was Staten Island team playing. And one of the players, his grandfather had a heart attack right on the field. And two of the assistant coaches, one is a New York City sanitation worker, one was a New York City fireman. You know, they were both off duty. I called 911. Those other two gentlemen immediately began giving CPR. And due to the remote location, you know, in Floyd Bennett Field, it's not like you're going to call up and give an address like 3890 Highland Boulevard. It took an extra long time for the ambulance to get there. I would say they did CPR for more than 10 minutes. They definitely saved the man's life because he was taken to Coney Island Hospital, and then later that night he was transferred to Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan for some heart surgery. So, in my capacity with the community board, a letter was sent to the fire commissioner and the sanitation commissioner commending those two Staten Islanders for saving somebody's life, and I think they deserve recognition for that.
That's great news. Thank you very much for that. It's very fortunate.
I'm sorry if I can interrupt here. Owen, I'm very familiar with the situation. I was at the game. And I support you in whatever, you know, the endeavor is. And I'm you know, it's a great gesture.
Fabulous.
Still
Thank you so
got his
much.
hands up.
Thank you. They definitely deserve to be recognized for what they did.
Jim?
Just a comment. So I sit on the Staten Island Heart Society board. We actually now, for the last 4 years, have had a citywide contract through the New York City Council where we are routinely training people to understand how to do CPR, as well as part of the mission of the Heart Society, particularly on Staten Island, is we give to every nonprofit organization, sports group, church, whatever, who makes a request, a defibrillator with all of the training that goes with it. It's basically a $5,000 package. It's given to them free. So if you have any information, if you know any groups, we have been responsible on Staten Island for saving up to date something like 17 lives due to this program. And we are now in the process of working with the Heart Association and the Borough President's Office as part of a mandate from New York State to now train all high school seniors in CPR. That's a new mandate from the Board of Regents. So I'd just like to share that information. And again, if you know of any groups, this is a resource, a local resource. We are funded and provide all of our services to Staten Island, outside of the exception, as I said, that New York City Council, which has us doing this citywide. But, so I'd just like to share that.
Thank you very much. That's certainly very important information that we
Thank
should
you.
all be familiar with.
Mr. Goldman, can I interrupt here? Mr. Pasilli, I think that's a wonderful program. My daughter is a graduate of the school that's affiliated with the situation that we're talking about at Floyd Bennett Field. She also became a certified EMT working currently at NYU. Would she be somebody that would be able to promote a program like this at a current high school?
Yeah, so right now, as I said, it's a New York State mandate. We are responsible at this point, just based on districting, only to train the high school seniors on Staten Island. But this is a mandated program from the Board of Regents, which should be taking place. Every senior to graduate is supposed to be certified in CPR. The problem is, many of the high schools are arbitrarily making this decision to just push this ruling aside. But it is a legally binding rule from the Board of Regents. So I think anything you can do to let that school know about it, remind them. I can also have Rachel Volpe, the director from the Heart Society, or Dr. Mantello from the Borough President's Office, send you the state regulations that you could share. But it's an important thing. We get all our high school seniors trained. That's a major asset moving forward.
James, has anyone contacted the Department of Education to in fact see that they're familiar with this and they know it and have a meeting with them?
We are working with them on Staten Island currently. They're one of the partners in this initiative. We're actually going to have a Staten Island Training Day and Awareness Day in June, and it's done in partnership with the administration from the Borough Commissioner's Office.
Thank you.
Richmond Town Civic has a question. They want to know how they can get involved with the training. How can they be trained? Is it open to the public?
If they send their information to you, Stacy, I'll forward it to Rachel Volpe, and all they need to do, then she'll send them the application. But any and every nonprofit on Staten Island is entitled to this. This is our mission.
Okay, great. They'll send me their info and I will pass it on. Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? Okay, should we do the
Go ahead,
Community
Joe.
Alliance and the State Liquor Authority?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. The Community Alliance Committee / State Liquor Authority Committee had 10 applications before us this month. One withdrew the application, and that was Richmond Republic. 7 were notices only. Application for renewal, notice only, no action required, no modifications from the original application. And those sites were High Star Deli, the address is in your minutes, Manja, the address is in your minutes, Exit 13 Lounge, Lobster House Joe's, Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, and Moonlight Catering and Entertainment. Those were all applications for renewal, notice only, no action required, nothing was different from the original application. We had one, Avocado Sushi Inc., which was a new license. It's a notice only, no action required because the ownership has changed, but there are no modifications from the original license. It's just a new owner taking over exactly the same, new name of the person, but otherwise nothing has changed. Then we have 2 applications for new and temporary retail permits. One is Goodfellows, 4029 Highland Boulevard, Staten Island, New York, 10308. And we have the motion before us for Goodfellows. I'd like to read it to you. Whereas Goodfellows submitted an application and all necessary paperwork for new liquor license and temporary retail permit for a new establishment located at 4029 Highland Boulevard, Staten Island, New York, 10308, and whereas the applicant has signed a stipulations agreement, therefore be it resolved that Community Board 3 Community Alliance Committee recommends approval of a new on-premise liquor license and temporary retail permit for Goodfellows, 4029 Holland Boulevard, Staten Island, New York, 10308. Voting in favor, 7, opposed, none, abstentions, none. Can I get a second of this motion for Goodfellows?
Second.
Thank you, James. All those in favor of this motion on Goodfellows?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much. The second one and last one is Casa Nino's Pizza Bar, 1281 Arthur Kill Road. It's a new and temporary retail permit. And the resolution is as follows. Whereas Casa Nino submitted an application and all necessary paperwork for a new liquor license and temporary retail permit for a new establishment located at 1281 Arthur Kill Road, Staten Island, New York, 10312. And whereas the applicant has signed a stipulations agreement, therefore be resolved that Community Board 3, Community Alliance Committee, recommends approval of a new on-premise liquor license and temporary retail permit for Casa Nino, 1281 Arthur Kill Road, Staten Island, New York, 10312. In favor, 7, opposed, 0, abstentions, none. Can I get a second? Okay, thank you, Owen. All those in favor? So designated. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, it's unanimous. That is the completion of the State Liquor Authority Community Alliance Committee. Now we get
Jerry?
to... Yes,
What about the application for alteration?
of which?
Oh, you said it was withdrawn. I take it back, sorry.
No, we can discuss it if you'd like.
No. You said it was withdrawn, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I said it was withdrawn.
Okay, I apologize.
Don't you apologize. And the document speaks for itself if one
Yes,
reads it,
okay.
what occurred there.
Thank you.
Any old business before us? Any new business? I know we have announcements. Come on, there's got to be an announcement about...
Dennis McKeon.
We, just a couple of things. As you know, Earth Day is upon us, and there are a lot of cleanups scheduled for the coming weekend with various organizations. Joe Borelli's office is sponsoring a cleanup with ShopRite for Veterans Road West behind Home Depot there. That's going to take place on Friday at 10 o'clock if anybody would like to volunteer. But there are also cleanups across Staten Island with various organizations. You can check out Facebook for details. I know the National Resources Protection Agency is doing a beach cleanup. And the Victory Boulevard Merchants Association is doing a cleanup on Sunday. So please check it out if you have some free time. We would appreciate the help. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. James?
Yeah, just to add to that, Dennis, we haven't set the date yet, but we're organizing a Tottenville Civic cleanup on actually two of them, one on Amboy Road, and then there'll be another one down on Arthur Kill Road. Both are an absolute disaster, but we haven't set the date yet. We'll have the finalization of that probably by Friday, and I can share it with you. But we'll be organizing it locally. Any assistance, sanitation will deal with the pickups.
All right, we also will supply any picker-uppers or bags that you may need for the cleanup.
Fantastic, thank you.
Pat Conway.
Any other announcements?
Pat Conway.
Here I am. Can I speak? Hello?
I see you.
Okay, do you hear me?
I hear you and see you.
Okay. I was just thinking about what Lily was saying with the Veterans Hospital, and I thought about all the other institutions that are still around today, like American Legion, Operation Homefront, Fisher House Foundation, VFW Post. Would there be any chance of having organizations like that write letters to our government to explain to them how important it is to realize what our servicemen have done in order to keep our country free? Perhaps if they knew that because one of those organizations includes so many thousands of people and so many different programs. If you look, just the American Legion alone, they have numerous amount of programs that they run throughout the year. Maybe if the government knew how important it was to the American people through those associations and the letter writing that they could do, it would change their attitude towards taking care of our veterans. Maybe you look
The
at the answer to that.
The American Legion has been involved, and all of the veterans organizations on Staten Island have met with Nicole Malkatakis's representative in Washington a couple of times about this already.
Okay, that's good to know. And outside of Staten Island too, right? The ones that are countrywide. Okay. I wasn't sure if she didn't mention that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other announcements? I want to announce you got to go to the Beetle Fest in June, so just see Dennis for tickets. It's a great show.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Seconded.
I want to thank you all for having me serve as your chairperson tonight, first time ever, and our chairman and first vice chair. I'm sure will be back next month, and we'll be back to quote-unquote normal. But again, thank you for your participation this evening and your involvement. All you have a safe rest of the weekend, etc. Danny, your hand up.
Jerry,
Thank you,
you did an excellent job. Thank you.
Nice work.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I had great tutors. I mean, Stacy and Susan and Charlene, they didn't want me to embarrass myself, so they worked very closely with me. So thank them as well.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.